Rich Tabor for RPM News Weekly. This week we're driving the 2018 Ioniq Hybrid Blue, a very efficient, value-oriented hybrid from Hyundai. Our experience so far has been very positive. We've been getting up over 50 miles per gallon. The EPA rates it as high as 58 miles combined city highway driving. It's nicely equipped inside as well with all of the popular technologies that most drivers are looking for today, including Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Got a nice rear view camera installed as well. A year ago, we were at the New England Motor Press Association headquarters in Middleborough, Massachusetts, with Hyundai Vice President Mike O'Brien and the Ioniq. We're going to recap that right now for you. Enjoy the ride. We're here discussing the Ioniq, and I'm with Mike O'Brien, Vice President of Product, Corporate, and Digital Services at Hyundai. Mike, great to see you tonight.
Very good to be here.
It's been a very good meeting that we've had tonight. I did have a couple of questions that you would probably be the right person to ask about. One of them has to do with, there seems to be like two tracks that you really have to be looking at when you talk about EVs or hybrids. And one of them is the competition. Of course, there are some folks that are out here, and the Ioniq being a new vehicle, that's one thing. And the other thing is the public acceptance of hybrid vehicles and electric vehicles. And how do you feel that the Ioniq is going to be able to overcome both of those?
Well, you know, all of us as manufacturers have to do a better job of talking about the goodness of these products. So the Ioniq is the first ever vehicle that has one basic chassis and platform that has three powertrain choices. So the customer can choose the level of electrification or greenness that they want in their lives and what their budget will afford. We have a hybrid vehicle that has the highest fuel economy of any gasoline-fueled vehicle in the United States at 58 mpg combined. We also have a plug-in hybrid that'll be coming out in September that allows you to have the best of both worlds. You can drive purely on electricity if you want, or you could drive on gasoline when the battery's depleted, so you have over a 600-mile range. So no compromise whatsoever compared to a gasoline vehicle, yet the ability to drive completely green if you choose to do so, which you can do mostly in a daily commute with the range it has. And then, of course, we have the pure electric Ioniq, which is 124 miles of pure EV driving. It comes standard with a fast charge mode that allows you to charge it very quickly. I think in less than 25 minutes you get 80% charge. So it offers a pure EV, pure green driving experience at a very affordable price. And it's a compact car, so it's the same size as other category cars in that category, like our Elantra or a Ford Focus or Chevy Cruze, for example.
Well, how easy is it to actually charge the electric vehicle?
Completely automatic. When you open the door, you literally just plug the it looks like a fuel nozzle, but it's electricity instead of gasoline. You plug it in, it's all handled automatically.
Well, some of the cars have two plugs, and I noticed that the Ioniq has a single plug. That's an advantage, I would think.
Well, it's really an advance, and it was developed in conjunction with the Society of Automotive Engineers, a U.S.-based organization. And the idea is as we move into the future, with higher capacity electric vehicles, a fast charge capability is going to be essential for good widespread public acceptance. So the CCS plug that we feature, the single plug, will either charge a conventional, what's called level 2 or 240 volt, which has been available for many years. But the newly emerging charge is a fast charge, and the fast charge requires this extra connector, but in the case of the CCS plug, it's all built into one plug, so it looks like a conventional nozzle without any complications.
Here in New England, we're fortunate to have a pretty good layout of electric charging stations. Some of them are free, some of them have a charge system. ChargePoint is one of them that I can think of that uses a charge, like a credit card type of charging system. But I don't think we're the most dense area of the country with charging stations. And how do you see that moving? What areas have even more charging stations than we do here in New England?
Well, of course, the southwestern area of the United States is where there's most charging stations. According to ChargePoint data, you can drive well over 1,100 miles across along the length of California and have a local battery charging station available, a ChargePoint one, that's within 50 miles of one another during that whole 1,100 mile drive. In the case of the New England area and the East Coast area, basically you can go from Boston, you can go travel south for over 450 miles with public EV charging available within 50 miles every step of the way. So you could easily drive to Washington, D.C., with no concerns in terms about having enough range to get to a public charging station.
Well, and the Ioniq, the all-electric EV Ioniq, that has a 124-mile range before the batteries would need to be recharged. And with the fast charging that it has, you could in 20 minutes get over an 80% charge. Am I correct?
Yes, that is correct. So 80% charge in a little over 20 minutes.
Fantastic. Well, no reason for Tesla to be sucking all of the air out of the room when someone talks about electric vehicles at this point. I believe that the Ioniq is actually more efficient than Tesla.
Well, in reality, in the end of the day, this is all about reducing the carbon footprint of personal mobility. And we have to do that not only by electrifying our transportation, but also using less electricity, because today, nationally, over 67% of electricity is generated from either natural gas or coal, which means all we're doing is moving the tailpipe away from our car into a remote power plant. And so truly greening transportation is going to require less electricity. And right now the Ioniq is the most efficient electric vehicle sold in the United States ever. It's 31.6% more efficient than the Tesla Model S. It's quite a bit more efficient. I think it's 12% more efficient than the Chevy Bolt. So basically, we're very fortunate to have a vehicle that not only is great looking and has full 5-passenger seating, but also is the most efficient electric vehicle that's made today.
Well, thank you very much, Mike. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of the Ioniq here in New England. Thanks again. Rich Tabor for RPM News Weekly.